So hello and welcome. Most of you already know me, but just in case you don't, I'm Kathryn May, and I'm so excited that you're joining me right now because you know what, ladies, I said this earlier to you in the group. It is time to take back what the enemy has stolen in our health. Like it makes me mad, fires me up, makes me so angry. So if you're new to my circle, I'm passionate about mentoring women on their wellness journeys from a biblical perspective and helping them to find inner healing and to live healthier God's way. All right, you guys, we are in for a real treat tonight. Seriously, I want to share a little bit about our incredible guest that's going to be here with us tonight. We've got Sarah Robinson in the house. I'm so excited. And trust me when I say this, ladies, trust me, she is a game changer in the world of holistic wellness. She's not only a kick butt entrepreneur, but she's grounded in understanding how we can naturally elevate our health. And you know what else? She's a busy mom. She just told me before we started, she looks amazing because she got to take a shower. And moms, y'all, you totally get it, right? You get it. But she's a business owner. And so she understands like the struggle and the juggle of balancing life is real. So today, Sarah's going to be giving us an inside look at the X39 patch. And this isn't just your everyday wellness hack. So listen up, like pay attention. This is different, I guarantee you, than anything else you've ever seen. It's such an amazing thing with the potential to take your well-being to the next level. So Sarah's also going to be hanging out with us. That's why I said you could keep your camera on or off or whatever, but later you can unmute yourself because she's going to hang around with us after she's done sharing for a Q&A at the end. So make sure you stick around to the end and you can ask questions. But Sarah, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited that you're here. Thanks for taking the time.
Oh, well, thank you. It has been just an incredible journey just to get to know you over the last couple of weeks. And it's just amazing that this technology in this patch that I was exposed to just a little over a year ago is bringing the most godly women and men into my life. I'm telling you, this aligns with everything I already believe in. I've always been into holistic healing, and this journey has just been something I wasn't planning for, but I've enjoyed every step of the way.
Right on. I love that. Well, would you mind just sharing a little bit about yourself? And then I'm going to give you access. I would love for you to be able to share some stuff with everybody. I'll just give you that so you have full access now. You can take over the room and share from here on out, and then we'll have some questions later. But sister, take it away. I'd love for you to share a little bit about yourself and then just go right into whatever you want to share with us about all the things.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kathryn. So it's an honor to be here. Thank you so much for coming and listening and hearing my story, because really that's all that it is. You know, my husband and I, when we first met, I was 17 years old. I'm now 37. We have 3 children. We live here in Central Florida near Ocala and Gainesville. We've been very busy entrepreneurs. I actually, when he first met me, I'm 6 feet tall. So my dream, because everybody told me what I had to do, was model. So that's what I pursued at a very young age. And I look back now and it was probably one of my biggest regrets in life, because there is a lot of evil in that world. And when I joined that career, I got signed to the #1 agency in the world. And I thought, this is it. I've made it. Because I mean, I came from nothing. I mean, my mother had 5 kids. She had us in the church, thank goodness, but we were very poor. She was a single mom to 5 kids and just trying to make it. So I actually dropped out of high school to join a modeling career, another horrible decision I made when I was young. And long story short, I ended up failing because I had developed an eating disorder. So I had a very unhealthy relationship with food in my early teens. And from that 3-year stint of having, what I had was bulimia, I developed horrible stomach problems. I have had them since I was 18 years old. You name, I'm not going to get too personal. We just met. So, but when I tell you, if any stomach problem you can think of, I've had them on a daily occurrence every single day since I was 18 years old, to the point that last year at 35 years old, I went and got a colonoscopy. My digestive disease doctor was very concerned with the constant pain that I was in and being uncomfortable all the time. You name, I could look at water and get bloated. So I had not dealt with an eating disorder since I was 21 though. So that's been healed. God healed me. I've been good to go, but I have just been really struggling over the years. I definitely have leaned very holistic. But I was starting to get desperate. I was looking on the Western medicine side because I was just so sick of being in pain. So I went in, got a colonoscopy. He found a lot of irritation in my stomach lining. And he was going to put me on a medication where the symptoms from the medication were worse than my symptoms from my stomach problems. So I just decided I'm just going to live with this. Maybe I'll switch to the MAP diet. That was in May of last year. In July is when my brother-in-law called us and said, hey, what do you know about stem cells? And I was immediately intrigued because I know that when we were an embryo, the first cell in the embryo was a stem cell. I know that every other cell in our bodies, which we know we are made up of trillions of cells, every cell in the body began as a stem cell. It's the only cell in the body that can regenerate and create cells for your body to stay in a healing state. Right? So I know the importance of it. So when he exposed this technology to me, the cherry on top is that it's completely natural and leans very holistic. It is non-transdermal. The first question I had is, what stem cells are in the patch? Where are they getting these stem cells from? It's completely non-transdermal. So I put this patch on and it's powered by my own light, the light that my body emits. And I'm going to get into that into a second. So put it on, completely natural, no negative side effects. Put it on. Within 10 days, I felt huge relief in my stomach pains. After 10 days now, my stomach pains are gone. My husband's not here. If he was here, I'd tell you more about his story. He actually had long COVID and we had dealt with it over a year. He was hospitalized 3 times, $10,000 out of pocket in medical bills. He's also a cancer survivor with 1 kidney. After about 2 months of using the patch, all of his long COVID symptoms gone. Now, I'm not claiming that this patch heals, treats, cures anything, but what it does do is it turns your body's healing system on. So that's kind of my journey with this and what it's done for me. And then I just started sharing it with a bunch of friends, really educating myself on how it works. And that's what I'm here to do tonight, is to share with you exactly how this patch works. Okay. So what is this little patch that I keep talking about? Okay. This patch right here is clinically and patented proven. Okay. I can legally tell you that when you put this patch on your body, it is going to elevate a very specific naturally occurring biochemical in the body. It's called a GHK-Cu. Cu stands for copper peptide. So a GHK copper peptide. Once this copper peptide is elevated in the body, it's going to activate your own body's dormant stem cells. And once your stem cells are active, then your body will begin to regenerate. So why X39 stem cell activation patch? So the fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. Hundreds of millions of people are experiencing the symptoms of aging. And what I love about this isn't actually anti-aging, this is age reversal, because your stem cells are the regenerative process of the body. This is a copper peptide that is being elevated in the body. Peptides are the molecules that your body uses to regenerate, okay? And the only way to elevate peptides in the body is either through injections, very expensive injections. The first commercialized peptide in the market was insulin. That is a peptide, okay? So you can't go pop an insulin pill. You have to either get an injection or you can elevate it through phototherapy. So this right now is one of the most affordable and effective ways to elevate this copper peptide in the body. So I've kind of used this little saying, what my job is sharing stem cell awareness, because before I was introduced to this technology, I had no idea that by the age of 30, 50% of your stem cells are dormant. And by the age of 60, you have almost no stem cell activity. Okay, like, whoa. And the fact that it is possible to naturally reactivate your own body's dormant stem cells. So the beautiful thing about the way God made us is our stem cells, which are in charge of regenerating every organ, all 11 systems of the body, every cell that dies gets regenerated by a stem cell. They don't die. This specific peptide is the gasoline tank to your stem cell system. So let's get a little technical. How does this patch actually work? The most I listened to all the scientists and doctors, and this is a very sophisticated technology that's been in development for over 20 years. It was originally created for Navy SEALs, okay, back in the early 2000s. When I'd read these things, finally something clicked when someone used this analogy for me. This is a phototherapy mixed with frequency therapy. What happens when you are in phototherapy and frequency therapy? Your body is in a state called photobiomodulation. It's the same thing as a plant. When a plant is outside, the sun hits the plant starts to grow, sends frequencies and wavelengths from the sun, and they are in photosynthesis. When humans, our bodies were created to heal with light. We go out into the sun hits our skin, the wavelengths and the frequencies from the sun tell our brain to elevate vitamin D. That is exactly how this patch works, but it's using our own body's light as the energy source. So did you know humans glow? Okay, what that is our infrared light leaving our body. When you go outside at night, someone puts night vision goggles on you, you have about 6 to 8 inches of infrared light leaving your body at all times. Plants, anything living glows. They emit infrared light. This patch, I don't know if you can see it with my light, but in the middle, right here, there are organic nanocrystals that we grow in a lab. It is infused with a very specific frequency. When you put this patch on your body emits infrared light. The crystals absorb your light, activate the frequency. That's what activates this patch, is your own body's light. And it takes that frequency, sends it back down into your body like the sun does to you, sends a message to your brain to elevate the GHK copper peptide. Okay, how exciting is that? There are no chemicals, there are no drugs, nothing synthetic. This is a non-transdermal patch. And some really cool things about this copper peptide is very heavily studied. There's a lot of information on pub.med, which is the NIH's website. I literally copied and pasted this little insert right here. And these are just some extra benefits outside of activating your body's healing system, which is your stem cells. This copper peptide also stimulates blood vessels and nerve outgrowth I can't see right there. I should have that memorized by now. Okay, and increases collagen and elastin for visible anti-aging. Did you know that collagen is not just for vain reasons? If your organs and your bones and your ligaments were the bricks of your body, collagen is the mortar. It's what keeps everything together. It also protects your body from cancer. So there's many reasons why you would want to increase collagen in the body, not just to look pretty or have long hair. So also GHK's ability to improve tissue repair is demonstrated for skin, lung, connective tissue, bony tissue, liver, stomach lining, my stomach problems. It also has been found to possess powerful cell protective actions, such as multiple anti-cancer activity. So I've heard people say, oh, I've heard some negative things about stem cell therapies in people who have cancer. Well, when you have, according to pub.med, when you have higher levels of this copper peptide in your body, your healthy cells are in your body saying, don't duplicate, we're healthy. We all have cancer cells. The cancer cells in your body saying, we ain't going to listen. We're going to duplicate and we're going to destroy healthy cells. What this copper peptide does is it protects your healthy cells from cancer cells. All right. Everybody needs this because we all have cancer cells in us. Okay. And anti-inflammatory actions. Inflammation is the lead to all disease, as well as having anti-anxiety, anti-pain, and anti-aggression activities. And this goes on and on. There's actually 149 published studies on pub.med. There are 0 negative side effects to elevating this copper peptide in the body. Super, super exciting information on this specific peptide. So who made this patch? Where did it come from? Well, this is our man right here, he's our scientist, inventor, and the CEO of our company. How beautiful is that? He is also a man of God. He loves the Lord. He talks about Jesus on stage. It is the first time I've ever seen such a brilliant scientist give God all the glory. He actually said he got the codes for this from books in the Bible, where he could figure out how to put the frequencies into the crystals. The codes were from the Bible. So it's some pretty interesting stuff. You can look it up on YouTube. He's also a 2-time recipient of the Advanced Technology Award from the International Hall of Fame. He has acquired over 130 United States patents. 77 of our patents are in regenerative science. This patch was originally created, well, this technology, not necessarily this specific patch. He created this phototherapy patch technology originally for the military. He was building metal combustion engines and oxygen systems for the military back in the late 90s in Georgia, outside of an Army Ranger base where they were training Army Rangers. They asked him to come on board for the Navy SEALs because they would be stuck in mini submarines for weeks at a time without access to light. So he joins this contract, creates this phototherapy technology. He had an energy enhancer patch for these Navy SEALs that elevated oxygen in the blood, where they had more vitality and wouldn't have to drink so many caffeine drinks and stimulants. So he left there. He left that contract, and then he wanted to figure out a way to bring his technology to market. And thank goodness he chose this direction, where we are doing direct to market, direct to consumer, where we all can get out and share this patch with people. So what I love about this, for me, putting my name to this company, is that this is a 19, almost 20-year-old company. They have many other patches, wonderful patches. I really focus 100% on the X39. It is 80% of the company's sales because it works and people are getting the most results from it. And we just acquired this patent last year. And what is so exciting is when you look at this and someone goes, how do you know it works? Well, I go, well, I really don't have to worry about that. They did over 80 clinical trials, some of them being published and peer-reviewed, double-blind. And because of the extensive research they've done with this technology, we have acquired this United States patent. And right on the patent given to us, it says that it beneficial effects on the human body, such as activation of stem cells, and it increases copper peptide GHKCU in the subject's body. So how cool is that? I have something that works, a general wellness product. We are registered with the FDA. I don't know if anyone really hears about that, but we are registered with them, but we are registered as a general wellness device. Okay. We are not a medical device. We are not a drug. We are not a tongue depressor. So we are, someone asks if we are approved. That's not necessarily what you're looking for. We are cleared. We are compliant with the FDA as a general wellness product. So what are some things that you notice when you activate your stem cells, when you lower inflammation? There's some really exciting things. I do not promise results within a timeline because everybody's body is healing different. Everybody has different issues going on. I felt it within 10 days. It took my husband almost 2 months to get a feeling. Some people, it takes 90 days. We have one patch wonders that stick this baby on and within minutes feel something going through their body. I did a testimonial last week, incredible testimony with a gentleman last week who felt it immediately. So here are some things from our studies that people have experienced. That rapid pain relief, that's because of the reduction in inflammation in the joints and ligaments throughout the body. Supports wound healing. I cauterized my finger fishing a couple weeks ago, all the way down to the bone on my working hand. It was healed within a week. Unbelievable. I've never healed that quickly. Energy and vitality, huge. Almost everyone tells me that. I used to be addicted to caffeine. I'd have 2 cups of coffee in the morning and I'd have to have my pick me up by 2 o'clock before I picked up the kids. I can barely drink 1 cup of black coffee in the morning now. I fill this baby up with water 10 times a day. I feel better than I ever have. Also sleeping better. I sleep like a baby now. I used to be an insomniac. Enhances sports performance, faster recovery from exercise, improves skin appearance. That's because the increase of that collagen in your body. This was one of our studies. David Schmidt brought a participant, a 77-year-old woman, to this study. And the scientist said, listen, if you want this study to look good for your product, we suggest that you bring us a younger subject. We've never seen cognitive decline improve with someone with phototherapy, let alone almost any therapy at this age. We suggest you get a younger participant. He said, no, I've done my own studies. Continue. So you can see in session 1, before the patch, she has a lot of red in her topography scan in her brain. This is overstimulation, low vibrant colors, meaning very low cognitive levels. Session 2, she came in after 3 weeks. All of the inflammation in her brain has left and it's starting to improve cognitive levels. You can see by session 3 at 6 weeks, a more balanced brain with higher cognitive levels. This was groundbreaking, absolutely incredible. It confused all the scientists, let's say that, just by using this patch. Long-term studies, okay, this is per our 80 case studies on startx39.com. These are all published and you are welcome to skim through them. I send them to doctors and nurses and all the time and they're blown away. So Within the first few days per our studies, this patch has shown to reset over 4,000 genes in your body to a healthier state. You only have about 21,000 genes, okay? That's a huge amount of genes being reset immediately, which also is connected to DNA repair. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes more balanced. I just showed you the topography scan. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. I don't know a single person who doesn't want more collagen, okay? And I've explained even deeper healing that goes on when you elevate not just wrinkles and hair growth, but structural integrity of both your skeletal and muscular system. Within 6 months, this is a study that was released last year, 14 out of 15 people lowered their vascular age. That's heart health, okay? Their vascular age by an average of 8 years after just 6 months of using X39. This is not anti-aging. This is age reversal, okay? People will ask me, well, Sarah, how long do I need to wear this? I can promise you this. I've been on this patch now over a year. I notice things on a weekly basis. Even little things, big things, it's unbelievable. I continue to, my skin looks better. My energy is better. My hair's growing faster. I'm not pulling my back out anymore. Thank you, Lord. My stomach pains have never come back. I sleep like a baby, former insomniac. Unbelievable. So if you want to see more testimonials, if you want to read any of the studies, if you want to watch a quick 3-minute video of how this phototherapy works, go to startx39.com. All the information is there. How do you wear the patch? The easiest wellness product I have ever used. And y'all, I take my vitamins. I love essential oils. I do a lot of things. This is not the only thing that I do, but this is the easiest thing that I have ever used in my life. How many of you have ever bought a vitamin, took it for a couple of days, and somehow it just makes it to the back of your medicine cabinet and you stop taking it? Okay. It's right. I see you, Kathryn. And what's happening is when you take those vitamins, your body metabolizes it so quickly. And that's why you have to take your vitamin C twice a day so you can keep your vitamin C levels high. What's so cool is we were able to prove in our studies is when you wear this patch, it's going to elevate that copper peptide at significance, flowing through the blood and metabolizing through the urine for the 12 hours you wear this patch. So when you wake up in the morning, I put mine right by my toothbrush or my coffee maker. It goes back and forth. And I put it right on the back of my neck or 2 inches below the belly button. But you can wear it anywhere. Those are just from our 80 studies. This is a systemic technology. If you don't like adhesive, you can literally stick it in your pocket because of your infrared light. It'll elevate the copper peptide as long as this is within 2 inches of the skin. So put it anywhere on the body. If you have a specific pain, put it right there. But just for general wellness, behind the neck, 2 inches below the belly button, wear it for 12 hours during the day. It's because that's when you emit the most infrared light. Then you're going to take it off, rest and repair for 12 hours at night. Our bodies were designed to interact with light on that schedule. Okay. During the day for 12 hours, you rest and repair at night. You don't want to wear this for 12 hours because over time you won't respond as well and get as well results because you need that rest and repair time. If you forget the patch, skip the next day, not a big deal. Okay. It doesn't hurt you whatsoever. There's zero negative side effects with this copper peptide. The number one thing, drink plenty of water. This patch will immediately elevate your glutathione in your body. That's because that's how it's reducing inflammation. Glutathione is one of the main pathways in your body for detox to scavenger free radicals. A very small amount of people might have a mild detox that can be in the form of a headache, just feeling a little icky. And that's good. The bad has to come out. Invite it, welcome it, drink plenty of water. If your detoxing is uncomfortable, then just switch to wearing it at night until you push through and then go during the day. But that's a very small amount of people that do that. So we have many testimonies. I shared mine with you. I could sit here all night long and go on and on and on about it. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm going to go ahead and answer some of your questions. I want to thank you guys for listening to that. I'm very passionate about this. I've watched this patch change lives, and I'm so excited to answer your questions.
Thank you so much.
You're
Wow,
welcome.
it's like, wow. Thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable about your, your health struggles as far as the bulimia and all that stuff goes, because that takes a lot of courage. And it's easy sometimes to share from a place of healing. And, it's much easier to share from a place of healing, but it's always, and I know that you are, and that's awesome. But like, ladies, we all have some stuff to deal with in our lives. And we it's just not fair to look at other people and think they have it all together all the time. And they just don't have anything to deal with, because we all do. It's just wonderful to hear somebody sharing, real life things that some other women in here might be struggling with, or women that are going to be checking this out on the replay later, that needed to hear that. So thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable. It's so important. So yeah, we have some questions that came in through the process. You did an incredible job of helping me to understand a little bit better. What about y'all on here? If you want to unmute yourself, you can raise your hand. Lisa said in the chat, thank you. Monica has a question, so we're going to go ahead and let you ask a question. Monica, are you unmuted? Go for it, girl.
Thanks, Kathryn.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for all the great information. I really enjoyed the presentation. I've been having power surges, also known as hot flashes, for like the last 8 months or so. But the last couple of days since I've been wearing the patch, it seems to be more intense and more often. And I don't know if that's maybe detox. I didn't realize that was like a factor there. So I'm wondering if that's maybe some of the detoxing, because I thought I'd had it a little bit under control, and the last couple of days have been interesting.
Right. So the healing process, that's a very good question. And I have heard so many testimonials when it comes to anything hormonal, menopausal. Quick testimony. My girlfriend, Laura, I met her through this. I didn't know her before this, but she's a mutual friend of mine. She's been on bioidentical hormones for 20 years. And she got on those because of hot flashes and things. And she's probably in her late 60s. She is now 6 months later, after going in, because you have to get your blood work done for those hormones. She is now completely off of her hormones. I have another girl that was premenopausal and hasn't gotten her period in 4 months. She got on the patch. Her period came back. She's like, Sarah, it wasn't heavy, but it was small. And all of her premenopausal symptoms went away. Her name's Deanne. Then I have another girl who is a chiropractor in Tampa. She was born with 2 uteruses, ladies. Can you imagine? 2 uteruses. So she has 2 periods a month. She's one of those ladies that can have 2 kids that are like four months apart. And she was miserable. And she has been on the patch for 8 months. She came to one of my seminars because she's had such amazing results, because now she's off of her hormones. She invites her period back, and she's feeling incredible. She's, instead of having a period for 3.5 weeks, she's now having it for 10 days. All of the pains are gone. But she did say at first it got a little worse before it got better. So you are 100% correct. Your body is also leveling out. We don't heal overnight. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like with cartilage, when new cartilage is forming, it has to purge the old cartilage, and you're going to be in more pain before it gets better. That's just how the body works. So I'm not a medical professional. I do not claim to be, but from what I've read and what I've heard and from testimonials, what you're dealing with right now is very normal and will pass very quickly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's a great question, Monica. Thank you so much. We had a question in the chat from Roseanne. She says, how affordable is this product? Would you address that?
Yes, very good question. So very affordable. That was one huge thing for me. If you were to go get this copper peptide injection right now, they are $500 a shot. It takes 20 minutes to administer it. And in order to keep your levels high, you have to do them very consistently. So it's very expensive to elevate this the only other way, which is injections. I actually saw a panel of doctors last weekend, about 8 doctors, and they got on stage and said that right now on the market, this is the most effective, meaning better than injections, and most affordable way to elevate this copper peptide right now currently in the market. So back to the price. The price of the patch is very simple. A cup of coffee a day. It's actually cheaper than a cup of coffee. I went to Dunkin' Donuts yesterday, got a medium iced coffee with oat milk. It was $5.17. Ridiculous. So it's cheaper than a cup of coffee, and it comes to $100 per month. With shipping and taxes, about $115. When you're first getting started, because of the science, because not everybody heals at the same pace, because I want you to have results. That is the only reason. We do suggest at minimum that you commit to 90 days on the patch. Cell turnover for your stem cells to become pluripotent and shooting new cells off, 90 days. Collagen, 90 days. So we suggest you commit to a 90-day supply up front, They waive any type of extra fee. So you're only paying $300. Then we can push your auto ship out 90 days if you choose to. And then after that, it's $100 a month. Extremely affordable.
So awesome. I'm loving that. I'm like, you're right about the coffee thing. How pitiful is that? My daughter went to Starbucks today and it was the same thing. She got a little frap and it was like $5. It's just crazy. It's crazy. It's, you know what we do though. I think sometimes it's a mindset thing, and I'm all about thinking about mindset shifts. And I've been talking about this a lot this week in the group about shifting our mindset from being one of, oh, I can't afford to, like, God's got this. And where are you spending your money that you shouldn't be, or don't need to be, I should say, where you could, move it to being more productive for your life, your savings, your health, or whatever. And so it's just being good stewards of our life, right? Like our finances, our health, our time. We have to be good stewards of that. And I don't think it's being a good steward to go, through the coffee drive-through 3 times a week, for sure. I don't personally, but the same people who do that are the same people who are like, I can't afford health type related things in my life. And I'm like, well, okay, stop buying the coffee or the sugary laden stuff or whatever. And so I just love that question. That's really good. And something else too, like people say they can't eat healthy food. And I was just sharing this week too. And I think it's so important. When we think we can't eat healthy food, we being like the majority of us at first, right? It's too expensive to eat healthy food. I'm like, do you realize you're spending double the amount of money to buy unhealthy food? I call it the ramen noodle diet, because you actually have to eat more to be full, to be satiated. You're going to get hungry sooner. You're going to eat more. And it's literally made to be addicting. That food is made to be addicting. So you're going to eat a lot more of it. And it's just nuts. So anyways, the way you put it was great. I get fired up about that stuff because I'm like, come on. Okay. So we have a question over here that I think is really, it's very incredible. Let's see. She says, I can't do voice right now. It's too noisy. I have a question regarding paralysis. My brother-in-law is partially paralyzed and he gets these really bad muscle spasms. What could these patches do for him? He's paralyzed from the waist down and has had some arm and hand movement. Wow, that's tough.
So my mother is a pain and paralysis therapist. I've grown up literally like my mom's cousin had paralysis. He lived with us for like 9 months. So my mom could hone her craft. So I've been around that a lot in my life. So I'm very comfortable with that conversation. We have a gentleman that I know personally, and he started the patch around the same time as myself. He got in a very bad accident. I actually interviewed him for a testimony. I'd be more than happy to send it to Kathryn and send it your way. And he, within a couple short weeks of wearing the patch, he would have horrible, even though he was paralyzed, he would have horrible pain in his feet. And he said within weeks of being on the patch that pain has subsided and he's having more movement than he's ever had before. And he said, listen, I'm not expecting to stand up and get out of my wheelchair, but for someone who is wheelchair bound, any improvement for my mental health, for my daily, it is life-changing. And his quality of life has improved immensely. He's still on the patch, very much still involved. I would love to share that interview I did with him. It's very heartwarming.
Thank you so much for that. Man, that's tough. That is some tough stuff. I had a question come in from over in the group. My mom has had arthritis for years and hates the side effects of her medication. Could this patch offer her some relief without downsides or interacting with her medication in the process?
Good question. So we are not medical professionals. I do say that. And this does not treat, cure anything. I can't claim that it does. But from what we've seen with other people, the inflammation, the fact that how this patch lowers inflammation so quickly and effectively, people with arthritis has seen a lot of decrease in pain. I actually I know it's not the same thing, but even as strong as like Parkinson's disease, I have a gentleman who wore the patch for 3 months. He was late stages, almost was going to take his life. He's in his late 80s. Within 3 months of wearing the patch, 80% of his tremors were gone. Another girl with the bioidentical hormones, her tremors in her head gone. So a lot of neurological and like tissue repair. You saw from the NIH's website how it's helped with tissue and cartilage repair. So from what I have seen, incredible. As far as interfering with medication, there's only 2, technically from pub.med, there's no warnings, but because of our scientist, he's a great godly man. He's only released 2 where he would say, maybe talk to your doctor before you wear the patch. One would be as if you're a cancer patient who is currently doing chemo. Chemo is meant to suppress your immune system and kill your cells. They don't even want you taking vitamin C. This is elevating your number one antioxidant in the body. It's going to detox all of that chemo. It's a toxin. So it's just actually just totally opposite of what your chemo is trying to do. That's the only reason. As soon as you're done with your chemo, completely safe to do. And then also a organ transplant person who has to take medication to suppress their immune system so they don't reject the organ. This is doing the opposite. It's elevating your antioxidants. Those are the only two. Besides that, it's non-transdermal. Nothing is entering your bloodstream and interfering. Your body is naturally elevating a naturally occurring biochemical in your body. There are no negative side effects. It does, and it will, from what I've seen, this copper peptide does help with that.
I love that. Yeah, that's awesome. Pat, you have a question? Go ahead and unmute yourself and ask away.
My husband he's been a cop for 40 years. He's retired now. He smokes and he will not stop. I can't get him to. He's got the beginnings of COPD. Will this help this?
Okay, you see how excited I just got? So whenever I would like to share it with you too. So if you go to, startx39.com, the website that we were telling you about,
Right.
and you scroll down to the pub.med studies right here. The first study right on the NIH's website, you click on that study. You scroll down. My mom also had beginning stages of COPD. She will not quit smoking even to this day. And it says right here, lung protection and restoration of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD fibroblasts, suppression of molecules thought to accelerate the disease of aging. So 100%, it says right on the NIH's website that if you can elevate this copper peptide, these are the benefits you have, including COPD.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm saying right now, Pat. Whoa.
Oh, hey, I'm already getting it. I'm putting him on it too.
Yes. We all need to be trying this for at least 3 months. Let our bodies,
I'm almost 73 years old. And
What?
yeah, I don't have any makeup on. I'm so
You
sorry.
look amazing.
Thank
Shut
you.
it.
I'm on your program, your Bible program too.
Yes, well, that's why you're with the Lord.
Lord, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I can't wait to get it.
Oh, good.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad. Yeah, I'm loving it too. I have, I shared a little bit with you ladies, but I have a testimony, right? Like I shared in the Facebook group today after I got done sweating and exercising. I got in there, I was like, a sweaty hot mess. And I was like, y'all, we are taking back. I was like, battle cry. We're taking back what the enemy stole. And I mean, if you haven't watched that video, go check it out because it was just the Lord saying, hey, share this with these ladies right now, because I'm done. I'm tired of watching the enemy steal, kill, and destroy, which is what he's come to do. But we got to stand up and fight. We got to take it back. We got to take charge, say, hey, no more. I'm taking back what the enemy stole in my health, in my finances, in my whatever else it is. Like I'm taking it back. Like you don't get it anymore. And so it's kind of my battle cry today. But during this process, it's so funny because just a few weeks ago, not funny, haha, funny, cool, weird, and awesome, right? The other day, or 3 weeks ago, I should say, not the other day. Everything's the other day with me. Okay, y'all. I could be talking about 3 years ago, but I had my back was like out really bad. And just briefly, because I already shared it a lot in the Facebook group, but some of you don't know this, like it was out. I was down for the count. Coming off of an amazing time with the Lord. I was doing some fasting just to hear clarity, get some, things worked out in my life and ask God to help me for the next season because I can't pour into y'all if I'm not full, right? So I just went on a week fast, 7 days. And then the following week did it again for 3 days. And then that weekend of the 3-day fast, I went to a getaway with my husband. And it was a wonderful time. We spent our time, talking about healing ministry and laying hands on of the sick and watching YouTube videos to encourage ourselves in miracles. It was just a great time. I come back off of the heels of that Sunday night, my back starts feeling funny. And I was like, oh, this isn't fun. I hadn't had this happen in a long while. And, sure enough, by the end of Sunday night, it was full blown, oh no, that is something's going on, right? It was bad. And by Monday, I was down. I couldn't get out of bed. By that Friday, I had to call my husband home from work and say, I can't get up and take care of our 4-year-old. I can't feed him. I can't get out of bed. I don't know what to do. I'm only 40. Okay. My back has just struggled, right? The majority of my life. And so I called my friend Brock and I said, hey, he and his wife are, healing ministers. I said, hey, I need you guys, please pray over my back. Like just speak healing, please, over my back. They said, sure, but I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to bring you these patches. And I'm like icy hot patches. What kind of patches are you talking about? I didn't know. Right. And so he says, no, girl, I got to start telling you. I was like, listen, I think I cut him off halfway. I was like, I don't really care what they are. Bring them on. Really, you don't need to tell me anything else. I trust you, bring them. And 3 days later, almost full 4, but it was 3 days. I was up moving around completely normal, which is a huge deal. Because when this has happened before, it's taken me 3 weeks to a month of hobbling around like granny, being like, oh, don't touch me. Oh, don't hug me too hard. Oh, I got to hold the wall still a little bit. I can't bend over real fast or whatever. And man, I was done and ready back totally to normal in 3 days, sliding down my son's water slide at his birthday party that weekend. And today, this wasn't that long ago. So we're still in that 3-week stint. I would have been the hobbly old grandma, right? No. Today I'm running. I was biking, and running for me is a big deal because I don't like to run, but I was running around. I'm feeling great. And I'm like running, chasing my little guy around. I was doing what I call a praise-cation. It's like a praise vacation in my living room. My husband, I didn't even know he was in the room because I had earbuds in and I was just listening to like hype Christian worship music. And I'm just jumping around everywhere. And later he's like, you're having some fun in there. I was like, I didn't know you were watching me. But I was jumping. I mean, just jumping. That's a big deal for me to be able to jump, to do squats, to do all the things that I did today, like I normally do after though. So soon after my back has gone out is what I call it. And not only that, I've also experienced I have a big varicose vein in the back of my leg that has been pinching me, and it has been just getting bigger and bigger. And I was exploring the idea of having it stripped possibly because it was hurting a lot. And within 2 days, I noticed that started to go down and the pinching was gone, totally gone. So that was a huge deal for me too. So I am all about let's let our bodies do what God intended them to do. And that's just to heal themselves. Like our bodies were created to heal themselves. Brock says it all the time. He's right. To be reminded of that all the time, myself too. So these are just a great helper tool in the world we live in right now, where we're so bombarded by all the things, our poor diet and the air quality around us, right? And our technology, all of the technology in our face and all that stuff. So I love it. I really think it's awesome. And I've experienced great things. That's why I was like, hey, everybody needs to know about these. I do have another quick question. I didn't mean to talk that long, but I do have a quick question from somebody. She was talking, I think you mentioned this already about skincare, or you said something about collagen at least. She says, I'm in my 40s, noticing my skin isn't what it used to be. I've heard this patch could improve skin quality. Is that true? How does that work?
100%. 100%. If there's one thing I can guarantee you is your skin is going to improve. My skin, I'm the late millennial with like the whole Jersey Shore and baby oil, and I worked in tanning beds and I took horrible care of my skin. Okay. So I started to see the signs of aging in my late 20s, my wrinkles, my crow's feet. And I also tried Botox one time. My body is highly allergic to it. So I could never go down that route. So what you're seeing, my skin, there's no Botox. There ain't no filler up in here. Okay. It is all my skin has done it. And all I have on my skin right now is powder. I don't use foundation anymore. When I tell you in just 1 year of being on the patch, my skin right now is the best it has been since my early 20s.
Wow.
My complexion, my sunspots on my cheek, when my skin, it's still move, but when I'm at rest, I don't have any fine lines anymore. My hair, when I tell you the collagen, and when you're saying with throwing your back out, ever since I gave birth to my first child in 2013, I blow my back out every 6 weeks. And I'm talking blowout, like fall to the ground, cry, like in pain. I've only done that twice in the last year. And I heal within days, where before it would take me 10 days. So I've experienced the same thing. But back to the skin, 100%, this elevates collagen in the body. And it does so much more than just that. Also is improving your, it elevates blood flow in the body too, that helps with your complexion. I have a gentleman the other day that said that his skin used to be yellow, and now his skin has come back. All of the fine lines in my skin are not fine line, but the blood vessels, the broken blood vessels in my skin, gone. Okay. But it took me a year, it took me a year to get there. I noticed results within 3 months, huge results, but definitely to where my skin is right now has been after a year of keeping this copper peptide high. If anything, $100 a month, talk about some skin improvements, super affordable, right?
Legit, because that stuff is not cheap. Like skincare is not cheap, and you're just putting a bunch of junk in your body trying to do it. If you find something that's good, that's very expensive anyway. That's awesome. I have kind of a lengthy little question. It's kind of a story almost, but I think this is really good. I want to share that if that's okay. One of the community members said she's been struggling with diabetes for years and is on she's on blood pressure medication. Sorry. On top of that, she has a surgery scheduled soon. She heard about this patch, the X39 patch, and she's super curious, but also really cautious. She said, she's wondering, can I safely use this patch with my current medications? And I think we talked about that a little bit already. And what should I know ahead of my surgery? And again, we're not doctors, and that's what she said. So yeah, but
Okay.
good question.
Yes, please consult with your doctor. Do not go off any medications until you talk to your doctor. Just know too, with the weaning off of things, and if your body does decide to heal, there is going to be some unstableness, right? You're not going to just wake up one day and go, I'm off my blood pressure medication. Your body's going to have to, like I had someone call me, they had worn the patch for a couple of days. Their blood pressure was going high, but they were it was going the opposite direction of whatever their blood pressure medication was making them do. I can't remember if it was high or low, but it was doing the opposite of what it was supposed to do. I go, you need it. Let's just wear it at night while you're sleeping. It wasn't going anything crazy too high. I said, you need to go to your doctor tomorrow and then have them start doing some tests on you. She was checking in with her doctor over time. Took a little time. She's off all her blood pressure medications. Her body was stabilizing. You have to think your body's trying to correct itself, but you're still taking the medication to manipulate your blood pressure. So you have to watch yourself there as well. As far as diabetes, I have heard so many testimonials. I can show Kathryn where she can find them. If you want to hear actual people who can give you actual numbers and how it's happened with them. So many testimonies. I have a friend of mine, Yazden. And a friend of mine, Vic Myers, who lives in Arkansas. He's also in food ministry. I have so many people in the ministry right now doing this with me. He, for the last couple of years, or last year, his doctor's been warning him when he goes in for a checkup, if you don't get your sugar under control, you're going to have to get on some insulin. Your sugar, you're going to be full-blown diabetic. He hasn't changed anything in his diet. The only thing he's changed, and his house burnt down. He's been through a horrible season over the last couple of months, lots of stress. He goes in and gets his blood work done. His blood work is the best it's ever been. And is for the first time, his doctor said his sugar was perfect. Okay. So, but he's been on the patch for 8 months. You know what I mean? So the healing of the body sometimes will take time. I'm not going to promise you when and what and how, what's going to happen. All I do know is just the benefits according to the science. It's worth its weight in gold. Did I answer all those questions?
Yes, you did. I was muted. I was trying to get back over there. I was like, where's unmute? That's awesome. So that was all the questions I had come in, and Monica said over here, it's true. Most doctors are not open to alternatives. They really push the latest drugs. And that's so true. Unfortunately, I remember going to get my son a medication at Walmart one time, and I wanted they sell like natural brands there too. Sometimes Zarbee's is the name brand of it. And I wanted something to help with a cough, but I didn't want to give him Robitussin or anything like that. So I asked the pharmacist, can you recommend which one of these is better? And she said, I can't tell you that homeopathic one is going to be doing anything more than just him drinking water. I legally can't tell you that you should use that. But I'm like, seriously? But I could tell she was being such a mom, because she's like, but I don't recommend you using Robitussin. I was like, okay, got you. I see. Read between the lines, because she can't, right? She get herself in so much trouble. And I was like, so sad. It's so sad. I don't understand it, but it's the wellness industry. I think what we do is the wellness industry, but like, I don't think doctors mostly are in wellness, and they're in the sickness industry. Like I don't know. Anyways, just my thing. Yes, Pat, you had another quick question.
I'm on full blown progesterone. I'm on hormones. I'm on the patch on the hormones and testosterone. I'm on full blown. Will I see a difference, or how will I know if I've got too much or too little? I don't know once I start using the patch.
So do you go get your blood work done pretty regularly for those hormones?
Normally once a year, my doctor makes me go,
Mhm.
and she just did it at the beginning of this year. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Would it hurt? I
If
don't know.
you're, yeah, so what I would do is if you start noticing a difference,
Mhm.
noticing things going on, because my girlfriend went in, she felt more energy. She felt amazing. She was feeling great. And she
Mhm.
went into her doctor for her bioidenticals. And he said, I have the testimony. You can hear it too. I recorded it. And he said, what's going on with your testosterone? It's like, it's acting as if you're a 20-year-old.
Wow.
She's like, well, I've been on this patch. He goes, well, I'm going to take you off some of your testosterone and I want you to come back in a couple of weeks. Comes back in a week. What's happening with this one? It's over a couple of weeks. He's tapered off all of her bioidentical hormones, but you have to watch that. You know what I mean? Like the only way you're going to really know levels is by checking in, with those types of things.
Yeah, my doctor said that she will have to check my hormones pretty soon again,
Okay,
because
perfect.
she does them
Perfect.
every 6 months, I think she says. So
Perfect.
I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so thank you. That's a great question. Monica, you can unmute yourself. I see your hand raised there, sister.
A couple of questions. I'm assuming if it works for women, it works for men the same, kind of along the same lines. They go through different problems, but similar in a way.
Yep. So what's great with this copper peptide is it's a human GHKCU. It's naturally in the body. It's naturally going to do for your body. And this molecule is designed for the human body to heal, whether you're male or female. So it affects us differently, and it's perfectly designed for the way our bodies were made. Right. So yes, 100%. It's going to help a guy different than it's going to help a female. Yes.
And I've got a few people that I want to recommend this to, and they just adamantly refuse to drink water, which blows my mind because I'm a big water drinker. And I'm like, okay, what do you drink? And they're like, well, teas and, different drinks, and not a lot of sodas so much. They've pretty much got off that. Thank goodness. But they just refuse. They don't like water. They say it just tastes bad. It doesn't have good flavor. And I've tried to get them different things, but I've been unsuccessful. I don't know if that makes a difference.
So I do have Yazdan. I have already mentioned him once tonight. He is of Asian descent. So he drinks tea all day long, and he had been on the patch for like, I would say 6-7 months. And he came to visit me here in Florida, and he was with us for, so I was with him all day. I'm like, Yazdan, you've had like 5 teas today. Do you drink water? He's like, oh, water's in tea. I'm like, you need to drink water. And he's like, oh, well, he still gets the results. You know what I mean? So per the information, you need to drink water. I would still push it on them, but just saying, from my friend Yazdan, he drinks nothing but tea all day long, and he's getting great results.
That's so good. It's wild to me to think that people don't drink water. God created us to drink water. Like, our bodies are made up of like 80% water, and it's nuts, or 70% water, or something like that, somewhere in there between 70 and 80%. And I'm like, oh, that's wild. What does the Bible tell us about water? So much. River of living waters. Jesus talked to the women at the well. You won't thirst if you drink this water. So water is a big deal to God. So I'm like, how? I crave it too. I've been sitting here drinking my water. Just listening to people say water makes me want to drink water and go jump in the swimming pool. So
people don't realize with this energy technology as well, because this is a frequency energy, type deal where it's using our light. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but water is an element in the body that moves energy. It's an actual element in our body that helps this technology work better. So, and more than just that, also with the sun helping your body elevate vitamin D. If you're hydrated, you can elevate more vitamin D and get more benefits from those frequencies from the sun. So it's very important to stay hydrated. Very, very important.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's so cool. God knows what he always knows what he's doing. We just have to remember that he actually knows what he's doing. We don't. We think we do though, right? We think we do. Okay. So we have just one last question and I think I'll be able to answer that one even. But how can I get this? How do I get mine? Right. I'm going to put a little thing here in the chat for you ladies right now, where you can actually click on this link. You can fill out this quick form. You can put in your information. I will contact you, or you can reach out to me in the Facebook group. You can send me a message on Facebook Messenger. You can leave a comment below this video. If you're watching on YouTube, whatever you need to do to say, hey, pick me, let me know and I'll contact you. So that was my answer to it. Do you have anything to add to that, Sarah?
No, I think that's perfect. You know, at the end of the day, if you try this, we do suggest 90 days, please. We want you to have results. Don't think a lot of people will get results way before that, but some people do take the 90 days. Just commit to it. The science is there, the technology, the studies, it works. You just sometimes, some people, small amount, have to give it the time it needs, but most likely you'll feel it pretty quickly. But I thank you. This has been amazing. And thank you for allowing me to share this with everyone.
Yes, thank you for taking the time to be here and taking your quiet time in your evening and all the things. I'm just so glad that you came. Thank you so much. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. And I'm available for questions through all those avenues that I just shared. Okay.
Awesome.
All right, y'all. Have a great night. Yeah. Bye. Bye, y'all.